My beloved child, stop for just a moment and let these words wash over you. You've been fighting unseen battles, carrying silent burdens. You smile, but your soul is tired. I know, but this message, this one, is a divine lifeline, not just to soothe your heart, but to awaken your power. You were made for this season. I have chosen you to rise not in fear, but in faith. Stay with me until the very last word. What's coming next is more than comfort, it's a calling, and your moment begins right now. I am reaching out to you with a love that is unwavering and true. Today, I invite you to hear a message spoken just for you, a message of gentle healing and profound hope. You may not realize it, but every step you have recently taken, though seemingly confident, has been leading you closer to a silent trap in the world. This trap isn't made of chains or shackles. It's crafted from sweet words, artificial lights, and desires disguised as glittering castles. They are nothing more than dust. The most frightening part is that you are walking directly into it with an open heart, unaware of what you are giving away. The world's trap is subtle. It lures you in with the very things you long for most: recognition, love, success, status, beauty, and admiration. It doesn't threaten you with violence. It soothes you with praise. This is why it captivates you, making you believe you are on the right path, even as it slowly pulls you away from your true self and from the place where I am always waiting for you. I see your struggles, your efforts to be accepted, your fear of being left behind, your desperate need to measure up. You work late, chasing ideals born from social media and fleeting approval. You have begun to believe that you will only be worthy of love when you achieve something grand, when you shine bright enough or succeed deeply enough. But that belief is the trap. You don't know that with every attempt to meet those standards, you drift further from your purest self. You were once a child full of wonder, loving all things with an open heart. Now you love with calculation, live in fear, and smile with effort. You have started wearing a mask to hide your pain, pretending you are fine while your soul quietly fractures. You think if you just try harder, the trap might turn into a way out. But my dear one, a trap, even if gilded in gold, is still a trap. This snare is disguised as a dream, promising happiness but delivering exhaustion. It tells you to become someone but never says who. It keeps you running endlessly without direction. And when you finally collapse from fatigue, it doesn't lift you up. It leaves you with an unanswered question echoing in your heart. Why am I still not enough? I did not create you to be imprisoned by this snare. I created you to live freely, to be holy in your very being, to love yourself and others fully and unconditionally. You do not need to strain to be worthy of love. You do not need to mold yourself into a perfect version for anyone. All you need is to return to the person I lovingly breathed life into from the beginning. Look closely, my child. The things you are chasing, do they truly bring you peace? The lights you stand beneath, do they truly warm your heart, or do they merely dazzle you, blinding you from the way home? Be brave enough to step back, to pause in this whirlwind of ambition and noise, and listen once more to the quiet voice of your soul. Only in stillness will you hear me calling from within you. Do not be afraid when you realize you have stepped into a trap. I do not blame you. This trap is cunning, and many souls before you have stumbled in the same way. What matters is not how far you have wandered, but whether you have the courage to turn back. The doorway to truth, to genuine love, has always remained open. I never close it when you fall. I open my arms. Even if you have never once called my name, take off the mask. Stop running a race with no finish line. Allow yourself to be vulnerable, to exhale, and simply be a soul who is already worthy, simply by existing. I am here, always here, waiting for you to break free from that trap, not to judge you, but to hold you tightly, as I did in the very beginning. You are not a product to be perfected. You are a sacred soul, a piece of eternal love. Do not let man-made standards blind you. Do not live for the echo of shallow praise, and do not let your stumbles make you forget the divine worth within you. Each time the world wounds you, remember this: you can always come home to my embrace, where you don't have to hide your tears or pretend to be strong. You are free to be unconditionally holy. Do not let your heart become a battlefield torn between right and wrong, success and failure, gain and loss. Let it be a resting place for peace, a garden where seeds of love are nurtured. You do not need to run anymore. You have nothing left to prove. Just remember one truth: you have always been enough in my eyes, the eyes of the one who created you with all his heart. My dear child, the whispers of the world have led you to believe a lie, that your worth is measured by success, by what you accumulate, by the influence you have. They make you think that you will only have value and be worthy of love and admiration when you achieve something extraordinary. But my child, that is just a thin coat of paint, beautiful for a moment, but destined to fade. The truth is this: your worth is not in what you do, or in the approving eyes of others, or in your degrees, your position, your possessions, the shoes you wear, the house you live in, or the number in your account. Those things are fleeting. They come and go, praised today and forgotten tomorrow. But you are eternal, because you were formed by my hands with all of my love and deepest intention. You are my creation, a masterpiece crafted not by chance, but by a love that is mighty and merciful. You are not a random occurrence in a vast universe. You were formed in wonder. Every cell, every breath, every strand of hair bears my signature. Every detail of you carries meaning, intention, and irreplaceable beauty. And because I breathed life into you, your value rests in me, the one who made you with all my heart. When you look in the mirror, you may see flaws, failures, and imperfections. But when I look at you, I see a wondrous being created for a purpose far greater. When the world says you are not enough, I say you have been enough from the very moment I called your name. You belong to me, not because you have earned it with your deeds, but because I chose you. I called you long before you ever knew my name. No one can take that away. No failure can erase the value you already possess, and no success can make you more beloved in my eyes. For my love for you has always been whole, unchanging, and unconditional. The world will continue to try to deceive you into thinking you must work harder, achieve more, and strive endlessly just to be seen. But remember, the only recognition your soul truly longs for is my gaze. It is the gentle call from the one who made you, who always loves you, and who never leaves. Maybe you have been swept away by the storm of comparison and competition. Maybe you have cried in silence, feeling small as you watched others shine. But I want you to pause and listen to this. You do not need to be like anyone else to be precious. You do not need to climb to any summit for me to see you. I have seen you from the very beginning. I knew your name before the world ever spoke it, and I have loved you not for anything you have done, but simply because you are you. You are the only one who bears such a mark upon your soul. In every moment, even when you turn away, when you doubt, when you lose your sense of direction, I am still there, still calling your name with unwavering love, still reminding you that your worth is not found in anything external, but in the simple truth that you are a part of me. So, my child, do not let the world cause you to forget this truth. Do not allow vague standards to lure you into trading away who you truly are. When you feel like you are not enough, remember that you were created by the one who is more than enough. When you feel alone in a crowd, know that I am near, closer than you realize, just waiting for you to return. When your heart aches under the weight of judgmental gazes, let me be your refuge, a place where you don't have to perform, prove, or pretend. A place where you can simply breathe and be yourself. My beloved child, do you truly see it? Behind the seemingly harmless, even sweet things lies a trap carefully laid, cunningly disguised by an enemy you cannot see with your physical eyes. He does not come to you with a terrifying form. He comes cloaked in charm, offering what you have long desired, appealing to the deepest needs of your soul. He knows you better than you know yourself. He watches every crack in your spirit, every unhealed wound, every longing that is yet to be fulfilled. He doesn't drag you away with chains. Instead, he quietly pulls you from my embrace with empty promises, fleeting pleasures, and paths that seem bathed in light. He lays before you a road that looks glorious and fulfilling, full of enticing goals, fleeting delights, and euphoric sensations that make you feel alive. But my child, it is an illusion. It is not life. It is a transaction. You walk his path unaware, believing you are choosing the most pleasant, most logical, and wisest way. But the truth is, each step takes you farther from true love, farther from the source of life. He is leading you to a barren land where your soul remains dry and your heart is always hungry and never satisfied. He trades your eternal peace for momentary pleasures, shallow relationships, careless indulgences, and enticing freedoms that are, in truth, chained. He lures you with what is immediate, causing you to lose what is eternal. And when all these things fade, he leaves you alone, empty, weary, and confused. That is when he whispers in your ear, "You have no worth left. Even he has abandoned you." But that, my child, is the greatest lie of all. He fills your life with noise, endless tasks, relationships, expectations, and responsibilities so that you no longer have time to pause. Your mind becomes too full to ponder deeper things, too distracted to hear the call of your soul, too burdened to remember me. He keeps you so busy that the most essential needs of your spirit, stillness, presence, and connection with your Creator, are pushed aside. He doesn't need to drag you to hell. All he needs is for you to forget me, and your soul will wander on its own. And my child, he is clever. He knows that the most effective way to bring you down is to plant seeds of doubt. No shouting, no violence, just a soft whisper. Where is he when you hurt? If he loves you, why do you suffer? Is his love even real, or just a foolish dream? These words seem harmless, but seep slowly into your mind like water eroding stone. Once you begin to doubt my love, you begin to seek comfort elsewhere. You start to believe that you must take care of yourself, build your own happiness with your bare hands, because I am no longer there. But my dear child, I have never left you. I have only stood silently grieving as I watched you fall into the trap woven by the enemy, the one who has hated the life and light I placed within you from the very beginning. My heart aches, but I do not give up. I am still calling to you, whispering in your heart during moments of clarity, when you suddenly feel an unnamed sadness, an emptiness that cannot be filled, a longing so deep that the world can never satisfy it. That is me. That is the signal that your soul is still alive, still remembering, and still able to return. Oh, my child, awaken. Do not let the enemy draw you further away. Do not believe the clever justifications that hide the truth. Stop right now. Return to the path of light, where there is no deception, no manipulation, no soul-draining whispers, where only I remain, and you, where love is real, where life is true, and you are free to be yourself without masks, without burdens, and without needing to prove anything. My beloved child, can you hear me? Amidst the restlessness of your mind, the clamor of the world, the weight of duty, and the emptiness of your soul, I am here. Not far off, not tomorrow, but here in this very moment. I am speaking to you, tenderly calling your name. I do not come with thunder or dazzling miracles. I come with a whisper, gentle yet powerful, the voice of truth, the voice of life, the voice of unchanging love. And that voice is echoing within your heart, urging you to return before it's too late. I know you are tired. I see you struggling through life, clinging to what you think will bring you joy, success, recognition, human love. You believe that once you have it all, you will finally be at peace. But my child, these things, if not placed rightly, become invisible chains. And it is they, little by little, that pull you away from me, away from true life. You are being lulled into a counterfeit dream, thinking it is truth. But the reality is, you are standing dangerously close to a trap, skillfully crafted by the enemy of your soul. Do you see it now? That enemy does not need to appear as a monster to frighten you. He is cunning enough to stay hidden. He uses your own desires to draw you in. He sets before you a path that seems righteous, seems to promise success, fulfillment, and stability. But in truth, it leads to silent ruin. He knows your deepest fears, the fear of being forgotten, the fear of not being good enough, the fear of being unneeded. And he uses those very fears to control you, to keep you in the shadows where my light cannot shine unless you open your heart to it. His temptations are not grand, just a fleeting pleasure, a small lie, a single decision that strays from the truth. A nod to temptation you tell yourself is just this once. But each small compromise over time becomes the chain that binds your soul. It gives you momentary satisfaction, then abandons you in bottomless emptiness. You consume sweetness laced with poison, and day by day you grow numb to my call. Worse still, the enemy does not only attack from the outside, he infiltrates your inner world. He uses your own thoughts to deceive you. He whispers, "You are unworthy. You are too broken. He will never forgive you." Then he fans your desires until you believe that if you are not satisfied, you will never be happy. He silently guides your actions until you no longer yearn to pray, no longer seek the quiet places, no longer look for me. He wants to dim the light within you until you can no longer see beyond or even recognize yourself. My beloved child, in all the noise and chaos you are walking through, amidst countless temptations pulling your heart away from true life, I want you to know one thing: I am still here. Not as a distant or vague presence, not as a religious concept people often speak of, but as a real, living being who loves you more than my own life. I am here right now, speaking to you with a gentle yet powerful voice. Come back. I am not merely calling you out of darkness. I have given you a way out. You are not abandoned in the enemy's deceptive snare. I have prepared a way of escape, a new direction, a true life that no force can steal from you. If you are willing to follow me, I have given you my word, not just as an ancient book, but as a living light, a radiant lamp guiding your steps through the spiritual night. Whenever you feel confused, lost, or standing at a crossroad, unsure of what is true or false, right or wrong, it is my word that will lead you. It is a living word, a deep word, a word that sees into your soul, to its very roots, revealing the lies the enemy tries to plant in your mind. My word does not come to condemn, but to lift you up, not to coerce, but to set you free. It is the language of love, love that longs to redeem, not to accuse, love that leads you away from the path of ruin and into the wide fields of life, peace, and eternal purpose. But I did not stop there. I gave you my Spirit, the Holy Spirit who lives within you, not just beside you. He is not a shadow, not a vague idea. He is alive, constantly whispering truth to your heart, reminding you of my words. When your mind is drowning in worry and doubt, when you feel weak, He is your strength. When you feel alone, He is the sweet presence that never leaves. When you do not know how to pray, He intercedes for you with silent but powerful groans. He does not leave you. Even when you forget Him, He waits patiently, comforts you, and rekindles the flame the darkness tried to extinguish. You have not only received a promise, you have been given the very one who guides and walks with you every step of the way. And beyond all this, my child, I gave you my only Son, the one who loves you so much He was willing to die in your place. He came not only to teach, not only to be an example, but to take the judgment that should have fallen on you and in exchange to give freedom and life to your soul. His death was not meaningless. He conquered death. He He overcame the world. He triumphed over every force of darkness that the enemy would use to bind you. And today, he sits at my right hand, interceding for you, calling your name in mercy, not with accusation, but with loving advocacy. Every drop of blood he shed is undeniable proof that you are worth saving, that you are precious in my sight, and that no matter how many times you fall, I still want you to come home. So, my child, you are not alone. Do not let fleeting emotions blur this eternal truth. Do not let the enemy's lies convince you that you have been abandoned, that I do not hear your prayers, or that I have rejected you. No, 1,000 times no. I am with you, not just outside you, not just in the good times, but even in your darkest valley, I am there. I have seen your tears fall in the night and heard your wordless sobs from the depths of your soul, and I was there. I never left. I will never leave you, not for anything, not because of any failure, not under any circumstance. My love is unconditional, unchanging, and without end. Yet, my beloved, you must choose. I will not force you to love me. I will not coerce you to follow me. True love must be returned freely. I have done all that is needed. I have given my word, my spirit, my son, and my grace, but you must choose to turn back. Choose to follow the light. Choose to place your trust in me and obey me with all your heart. This does not mean you must be perfect right away. I do not require that you never stumble. I simply ask you to turn toward me each day, little by little, sincerely in trust. And when you choose me, I will do the rest. Heal, restore, guide, and transform you in ways no one else can. My beloved child, I know everything you are going through. I see the silent battles within your heart, the tug of war between right and wrong, between faith and doubt, between your desire to live according to your calling and the exhaustion from a world that weighs heavily on your shoulders. There are days you smile at the world, yet your heart bears countless scars. There are nights you toss and turn in silence, feeling like you are drowning in life's vast sea without knowing which way to swim. I see it all. Nothing in your heart is too small or insignificant for me to notice. No tear you shed is meaningless in my eyes. I understand it all because I do not watch from afar. Type yes if you are ready for the blessings that you are about to receive. And if you believe in Christianity, kindly show your support for our community by contributing super thanks from $50 to $100. I am near. I am with you. And above all, I dwell within you. The burdens you carry are not invisible to me. I know the weight of responsibility, the fear of being hurt, and the loneliness that lingers even in a crowded room. I know the things you cannot tell anyone, the wounds you hide, the times you had to summon strength just to make it through another day. I know the weariness of trying to be good, trying to be strong, and trying not to fall apart. But my child, I did not create you to carry it all alone. I am here to uphold you. I am not only the great one in the heavens. I am the one who stoops low, who listens, and who always reaches out to embrace you. No matter how you come to me, you do not have to fight alone. You do not need to be strong all the time. I am your refuge, the place where you can take off every mask, lay down every burden, and weep like a child without judgment, without misunderstanding. In me, you do not have to prove anything. You do not need to be strong enough to approach me. It is when you are at your weakest that I am nearest. I am your strength when you have none. When the world knocks you down, I am the hand that lifts you up. When your soul is worn thin, I am the warmth that cradles your heart. When you have no words left to pray, I still understand your sighs and hold them as your most honest prayers. I know the exhaustion that is not just of the body, but of a soul that has carried too much for too long. You have been caught in a hurried life for so long, you have forgotten what real rest feels like. But my child, I invite you to come to me and rest. Not a brief nap, but deep rest. Peace for your soul, the kind no place on earth can give except me. Lean your head on my shoulder. Let me carry what has brought you to your knees. You don't need to brace yourself anymore. I will be strong for you. And if there comes a time when you have lost your way, if you look around and cannot find your path, if you have gone so far you no longer recognize yourself, remember this: I am still the one who leads you. There is no road too far that I cannot bring you back from. No detour too deep that my light cannot shine through. I lead you not with shouts, but with a patient, gentle call. I am not discouraged by your delays. I am not disappointed by your detours. I am always standing there where you can return at any time, not with reproach, but with open arms and unchanging love. So, my child, in every battle you face, whether outside or within, remember you are not alone. Even if no one else understands you, even if you feel lost among countless voices, I still understand. I still see. I'm still with you, not only to observe, but to act. Not just to hear you cry, but to wipe your tears. Not merely to sympathize, but to help you stand strong and to walk on. Not in your own strength, but in my power and my love. I am the one who loves you with a love that does not change. I am the place where you can fall without fear of judgment. I am the light that still shines even when darkness surrounds you. And if today you are tired, weak, or lost, know this: I have always been here, waiting for your return, not with blame, but with a tender invitation. Do not be afraid. I am with you. My beloved child, trust me, dear one. Entrust me with your full and childlike trust, as a child trusts their parent without doubt, without calculation. Do not lean on your own understanding, or your understanding is limited and at times clouded by emotions, circumstances, fears, and painful memories. I do not say this to diminish you, but to remind you that you are not meant to carry everything alone, and you do not need to understand everything in order to move forward. There are moments when, precisely in the not understanding, I am opening a path that only faith can see. Therefore, acknowledge me in every path you walk, whether you stand on the heights or in the depths, whether in seasons of calm or storms. I remain the same, unchanging, unwavering. If you seek me, if you invite me into every decision and every step, I promise to direct your path. Not the easiest path, but the safest one, for I am in it. My child, do not let your heart be deceived by the alluring lies masked in the glamour of the world. The enemy is clever in presenting things that seem logical, satisfying, and easy. But the words he whispers into your ears, that you can be happy on your own, that you can take control of your life without me, that you are strong enough to overcome everything by yourself, are all lies. I did not create you to walk without me. I formed you with a space that only I can fill. If you seek wholeness outside of me, you will forever chase after things that never satisfy. You may gain much, but without me, your soul will remain thirsty, lonely, and empty. In the same way, do not believe that by your own strength alone you can overcome all challenges. I know you are strong, but no one, not even you, is strong enough to bear all that life brings. There are burdens that only I can carry. There are battles only I can win on your behalf. There are wounds only my love can heal. When you try to do everything on your own, you will quickly grow weary and discouraged and end up blaming yourself. But when you lean on me, you will discover that you are not weak. You are simply living as you were designed to, in communion with me, sheltered by me, and empowered by me. And above all, dear one, never think that you are forgotten or abandoned. I know there are days when you pray and feel no answer. There are nights when you cry silently, and only silence seems to respond. Yet it is precisely in those moments of seeming silence that I am doing my deepest work in your soul. Some things take time to form. Great plans must be prepared in quietness. I have not abandoned you. On the contrary, I am shaping you like a potter shapes clay, with gentle but firm hands. I am cultivating trust in you. I am deepening your faith. I am preparing you for something far greater than you ever dared to dream. My plans for you are not for destruction, not a dead end, nor a cycle of repeated failure. My plans are full of hope, full of light, and full of future. But you must choose to trust me, even when you cannot yet see clearly. Faith is not seeing and then believing. Faith is believing in order to see. As you walk in trust, each step you take will be set on solid rock, and you will experience what the world cannot give. That peace that surpasses all understanding, joy that is not dependent on circumstances, and a love that never fades. So, my dear child, if today your heart is shaken, if your mind is full of questions without answers, if your steps tremble at a crossroads, pause, close your eyes and say to me, I trust you. That is enough. I will do the rest. I will carry you, lift you, and guide you through every stage of the journey. And one day, not far from now, you will look back, smile, and say, indeed, everything he did was wonderful. But to reach that day, today you must take the first step, the step of trust. My beloved child, trust in me, dear one. In moments when you do not understand what is happening, when everything around you feels chaotic, when you see no way out or have no idea what tomorrow holds, trust in me. Do not rely on your limited understanding. Do not let your mind, filled with worries, fears, and past experiences, lead your soul. I am not calling you to understand all things. I am inviting you to walk with faith. In every path you take, every choice you must make, every morning you wake with burdens in your heart, acknowledge me. Invite me to walk with you. Let me be your guide, and I will lead you in the surest and safest way. Even if you cannot see it yet, you must stay alert, for the enemy of your soul constantly seeks to distract you. He uses sweet but deceitful words to whisper that you do not need me, that you can handle life on your own, that there are easier, more exciting, more alluring roads. But all those roads lead to emptiness and disappointment. Do not believe that you can find true happiness anywhere apart from me, for outside of me, everything is fleeting, everything is fragile. Do not think you can overcome trials by your own strength. Your strength is limited, but mine is not. And above all, never think you have been forgotten or left behind in this vast world. I know you. I remember you. I love you with an unchanging love. Even when you cannot see me clearly, I am working in your life quietly, patiently, persistently, shaping you, forming your soul according to the beautiful image I have destined for you. You are my masterpiece, and I am preparing you for the good things to come. You may feel pain now, feel broken, feel left behind, but you are never abandoned. I am writing a story that is bigger, deeper, and more beautiful, and you are an irreplaceable part of that story. My plans for your life are not prolonged suffering, not failure, not a dead end. They are full of hope, with a future, with purpose, with brilliant light at the end of the road. But what I ask of you is faith. You must believe that I am good, even when things do not go as you hope. You must believe that my hand is holding you, even when you feel adrift. You must believe that I will never leave you, even when your heart has doubted and strayed. And more than that, you must learn to surrender your will to mine. I know what is best for you, even when it differs from what you desire. I see the whole picture, while you see only a fragment. I hear the voice of your heart and see even what you cannot put into words. I know you once hoped, once dreamed, once loved, and then it all fell apart, leaving pain too deep to name. I see the wounds in your heart, the damage caused by others, by words, by betrayal, by cold silence. I see the tears you shed at night when you thought no one noticed, no one understood. But I see it all, I know it all, and I do not turn away. I want you to know that you have never been forgotten. Not for a single moment have my eyes left you. Even when you are silent, angry, or ready to give up, I am still there, waiting quietly for your return, not to scold or condemn, but to embrace you with mercy. I do not look at you through the lens of your failures, but through the eyes of the one who chose you before time began. Type yes if you're ready for the blessings that you are about to receive. And if you believe in Christianity, kindly show your support for our community by contributing super thanks from $50 to $100. You are mine, you belong to me, and nothing, no past, no sin, no failure can change that. So my child, offer me your will, even if it is fragile, even if it is not whole. Choose to follow me with your whole heart, even if you do not know what lies ahead. I promise you, if you choose me, you will not be put to shame. If you trust me, you will see my faithfulness more clearly than ever before. If you surrender everything into my hands, I will turn what you thought was broken into blessing, ashes into crowns, and tears into new joy. You are not walking alone. My beloved, I am still here, inviting you to walk in trust, and I will go with you every step always. My beloved child, I am here, not distant, not silent, and not indifferent. I am in your every breath and in every weary beat of your heart. In each tear you quietly swallow, I am not only the one who understands your pain, but I am also the one who heals. I don't stand apart from your wounds. I step into the very place where you are broken and gently begin to mend each wound with unwavering mercy. I am the one who binds up your soul and restores wholeness where there has been shattering. I not only wipe away your tears, but I also bring back your smile. What you thought was lost forever, the parts of your heart you believed could never feel alive again, I can restore them all. For nothing is too broken for me to redeem. No one is too far for me to call back home. I am the God who sees, hears, and loves. I see you even when no one else does. I hear you even when no words are spoken. And I love you not with a fleeting or conditional love, but with an everlasting one. A love that transcends time, surpasses your failures, and outlasts your weariness, hardness, or doubt. This love doesn't fade when you are weak, doesn't grow dim when you stumble, and never changes, even when you question me. I will never let go of your hand. I didn't take hold of you only to pull away. When I take hold of you, it is an eternal bond. Nothing and no one can separate you from my embrace. But my dear one, for my healing to sink deep and bring fullness, you must let go. Not because I am limited or powerless, but because I love you too much to force change upon you. You must release what holds you captive, the things you've clung to for so long that have become a part of you, even though they are suffocating your soul. You must cast off bitterness, anger, and resentment, those toxic roots buried deep within that are hardening your heart, making you suspicious of love to you and pushing me away, even without you knowing it. The wounds you've endured were never your fault, but clinging to bitterness will only bind you tighter. Forgiveness isn't about forgetting the wrong, but about choosing freedom, surrendering all into my hands, the hands of justice and mercy. You must also release fear, doubt, and anxiety. They are the silent enemies that have dwelled too long in your mind. They are the voices that make you hesitate, keep you from believing in goodness, and make you second-guess every time I call you nearer. You've lived too long in a state of defense, afraid of loss, rejection, inadequacy, and unworthiness. But my love contains no fear. I am the place where you can let your guard down, where you can fall without fear of being turned away, and where you can be weak and still be loved. And you must be brave enough to face this truth. You have unknowingly built idols, things you trust more than me. They may be the safety nets you've built yourself, relationships you refuse to release, even though they hurt you, or dreams you hold tighter than my promises. When your trust is placed in anything more than me, even good things, those very things take my place in your heart. Then you can no longer hear me clearly or feel my presence deeply, not because I have left, but because your heart has been divided among too many things. Yet I, the one who created you, am worthy of your whole trust, for only I know what your soul truly needs. Only I love you completely and unchangingly. So, my child, let go, not because you failed, but so you can be free. Not because you are weak, but so you can be strong in me. Let me touch the deepest wounds in you, the ones you've hidden and the ones you dare not name, the parts of you hardened by pain. I didn't come to offer temporary fixes. I came to make all things new. But that can only happen when you release and let me come in. My beloved, I am waiting not with judgment, but with tenderness. Not with condemnation, but with eyes full of compassion. Let me restore you. Let me heal you. And let me become the one unshakable thing in your heart. The place where you are truly yourself and your truest self is finally whole. My precious child, it is time to let go of the past. Not just the things that happened, but the guilt, the shame, and the regret you carry with you every day. I know there are mistakes you've made that convince you that you're unworthy, that you've missed your chance, and that nothing good could still be ahead. But remember, I don't see you through the lens of your failures. I see you through eyes of love, a love deeper than all your remorse and wider than every stain. What you have done doesn't define who you are. You aren't bound by your past unless you choose to keep clinging to it. So you must release it. Let the weight fall from your shoulders. Step out of the shadows of sin and fear and walk into the light of forgiveness, renewal, and life. You must also let go of all that hinders you from coming close to me, whether it's pride, fear, harmful relationships, or secret desires you've yet to face. Anything that causes you to delay, reject my call, or remain outside the door I've already opened is a chain. And I didn't create you to live chained. I created you for freedom. You are only truly free when everything else falls away, when every illusion fades, and your heart stands open, bare, humble, and ready. Come to me, bringing nothing but yourself. No need to pretend to be strong or to hide your wounds. I am not seeking perfection from you. I seek truth, a humble heart, and a soul that listens. I want a heart willing to love, trust, and walk again in obedience. You don't need to do anything grand to earn my love. You simply need to take one step closer, just one. Because when you take one step toward me, I run toward you with all of heaven. My child, I am inviting you into a relationship unlike any you have ever known. Not a distant bond between a deity and a mortal, but a deep, intimate, and enduring connection between me, your Father, and you, my beloved one. I want you to talk to me not just with requests, but with honesty in every emotion. I want you to live in me, not as a religion or ritual, but as a real-life shared moment by moment, so I can live in you, move through you, and love you as you've never been loved. I am calling you not just to know about me, but to truly know me as a friend, a father, and the one who loves you with everlasting love. I want you to love me not with mere intellect, but with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength. I am inviting you to serve me, not out of obligation or fear, but because love has awakened in you a response that cannot be silenced. This isn't a duty, my child. This is a privilege. The privilege of living in the closest relationship with the one who formed you and knows you better than you know yourself. That is the life I created you for. Not a dull life of weariness and doubt, not a pursuit of meaningless things that leave you forever hungry and never satisfied. I created you for a life of fullness, a life of loving and being loved, of serving and being carried, of belonging and never being abandoned. This life doesn't promise ease, but it promises true joy. A joy that doesn't come from circumstances, but from my presence within you. This life brings you eternal satisfaction, a peace no one can steal, and a purpose greater than anything you've ever dreamed. My beloved child, choose to step into that life. Choose me. Choose to let go so you may be held. Choose surrender so that you may be free. And when you choose, you will see that I was never far from you. I have always been waiting for your return, waiting to begin a new journey, the journey of unending love. But you must choose with sincerity, with resolve, and with a humble heart, willing to open and receive me. No one can make that decision for you. No one else can live your faith. No one can force you to love me, to trust me, or to follow me if your own heart isn't willing. True love cannot be coerced. And I, the one who created you with eternal love, will not force your soul to return. But I long for it. I long to hold your hand, to walk beside you, and to become your resting place and true source of life amid the chaos of this world. So my child, choose me. Choose to walk the path I have prepared. Trust in me, not only when you can see clearly, but especially when all you see is darkness. For I see, I know, and I go before you. I won't hide the truth that the road ahead won't always be paved with roses. I know well what you will face if you choose to live according to the truth. There will be trials, days of inner turmoil, and moments when you feel alone, misunderstood, or abandoned. There will be obstacles that hinder and stumbles that make you want to give up. But my child, I never promised an easy road. I promised my presence. With me by your side, no challenge is too great, no door is forever closed, and no pain is meaningless. I will be with you every step, every day, and every breath. When you are weak, I will be your strength. When you are afraid, I will be your peace. When you feel lost, I will hold you close with a presence that never leaves. I will be your guide, not someone who points the way and watches from afar, but one who takes your hand, walks ahead of you, shields you from the storm, and lights every step you cannot yet see. I will be your strength, not a loud and hollow kind of strength, but a steady, quiet one that lifts you each time you fall, steadies you amidst countless choices, and carries you forward when your heart feels drained of all will. I will comfort you, not with empty words, but with my tender presence, a warm embrace through long, tearful nights, and a gentle whisper reminding you that you are still loved even when the world rejects you. I will be your provider, not just of material needs, but of the deepest spiritual longings, belonging, purpose, and wholeness of soul. When you lack, I will supply. When you are dry, I will fill. When you have nothing left in your hands, I will be everything. I will be your protector, not by shielding you from all pain, but by guarding your soul from breaking, guarding your faith through every storm, and guarding you from losing yourself in a world full of deception. And above all, I will be your peace. A peace that doesn't come from everything being okay, but from knowing there is one who loves you completely and will never leave you. For all these things to become real in your life, you must choose me. Not just once, but every day amid 1,000 voices and countless crossroads between what is easy and what is right. You must choose to trust me even when your emotions feel nothing. Choose to follow me even when everything in you wants to turn back. Choose to obey me even when it requires sacrifice. But my child, every step toward me is a step into true life. With every one of those steps, you will see I am enough. I am everything. I don't promise that you will always be strong, but I promise that when you are weak, I will carry you. I don't promise that you will never cry, but I promise I will wipe your tears with my own hand. I don't promise that you will never stumble, but I promise I will not leave you lying there. I will lift you up. So my beloved child, choose me today. Don't wait another day. Don't let hesitation steal the life that has already been prepared for you. I am standing at the door of your heart, knocking patiently, not forcefully, not angrily, but tenderly. Come follow me, trust me, let me be everything to you. My beloved child, I know there are times when your heart is full of fear. Sometimes you tremble not because of any clear threat, but because of an unnamed anxiety that quietly gnaws at your heart. You worry about the future, fear what you cannot control, and at times even doubt that I am truly near. But hear me, my child. Do not be afraid. Do not let fear blur the eternal reality. I am with you, not just near but within you, through every road, every moment, and every breath. There is no place you can go where I am not present, and no circumstance beyond my power to intervene. I am your God, not just a distant creator, but a father, a friend, the one who sees every silent tear and upholds you through every headwind. When your heart falters, when your feet tremble under pressure, criticism, or the slow erosion of doubt, I will be your strength. I don't expect you to stand firm on your own. In the very moment when you can no longer walk, I will lift you, carry you on my shoulders, and move forward. I hold you with my righteous right hand. That is a promise that will never change. The very hand that formed the heavens, that split the seas, that defeated death, now reaches for you with one purpose: to hold you fast. Now, my child, I need you to listen closely. Quiet your soul and set aside every noise and distraction, for I am about to reveal to you things of great importance, hidden traps lying on your path. They may not appear monstrous or obvious as you imagine. Often they are wrapped in the disguise of concern, reason, or even love. They come from places you would least expect, from those you trust the most. Understand this: your enemy is a master deceiver. He doesn't wear the obvious face of evil. He doesn't scream to frighten you. On the contrary, he whispers sweetly, patiently, dripping lies into your ear little by little. He doesn't need strength to drag you away. All he needs is to plant tiny seeds of doubt, fear, or inferiority, and soon, without noticing, you will drift from me. He knows your every weakness, every fracture in your heart, every wound from the past, and every buried dream. And it is in those very places that he strikes. Precisely, cruelly, and with chilling subtlety. He doesn't work alone. He uses those closest to you, not because they are evil, but because they are unaware they are being used. Sometimes they say things that sound reasonable, loving, and wise, but in truth they echo the whispers of the destroyer. It may be advice that makes you hesitate, a word that makes you doubt yourself, or a look that makes you question your path. It may be concern or caution, but beneath it is a fear planted in them by the world and by the enemy himself. Many of them truly love you, but they cannot understand what I am doing within you. They don't hear the sacred calling I am placing in your heart, so they advise you from a place of limitation. They tell you that the way of faith is irrational, vague, or too difficult. They make you question whether you've really heard me. They ask, are you sure? Is it logical? Isn't it too risky? They remind you of past failures, hoping to make you retreat. But, my child, don't let your heart be led astray by those voices, even if they come from the ones nearest to you. The enemy doesn't need you to rebel openly. He only needs you to doubt a little, delay a little, and compromise a little, and soon the flame in you will fade. He knows that if you truly walk with me and live a holy life for me, you are a threat to his kingdom. So he will not let you go easily. He will use every tool, family, friendship, even wise counsel, to derail you from the eternal purpose I have placed within you. Evil knows intimately how the human heart works. It is never hasty or in a rush, but it patiently sows seeds of doubt in your mind. It knows that it doesn't have to break your faith all at once, only erode it little by little until you begin to drift away from me without even realizing it. It uses vague circumstances, unfinished stories, and unclear emotions to create confusion within your soul. In that confusion, it whispers to you, is he even real? Is his plan really worth following? Are you just deceiving yourself? These whispers never shout, but they gnaw quietly at your spirit. And if you are not alert, they will consume your faith like a thief in the night. You don't know how many times he has stood behind seemingly harmless advice. He doesn't bind your feet with chains, but with gentle words clothed in concern. A suggestion to be more realistic may be the very nudge that distances you from the vision I have placed in your heart. A doubtful look from someone you love might make you hesitate when you feel called to devote your life to a sacred mission. He exploits your love for others, manipulating you through your longing to be accepted, understood, and cherished. Sometimes you don't move forward simply because you are afraid of disappointing someone. But my child, anything that hinders you from drawing near to me, even if it appears soft and well-intentioned, is part of a deliberate strategy from the shadows to destroy your soul. Moreover, he knows how to use your memories to hold you captive. He recalls your past failures, the times you fell, the wrong choices, and the pain you endured while following me, and plants the thought, you're not strong enough, you're not worthy, you'll only fail again. These memories, if not surrendered to me, become invisible chains pulling you back every time you try to move forward. The enemy doesn't need a new weapon. He only needs to use what you haven't let go of. That's why you must understand that when I forgive, I also erase. But the enemy wants you to remember forever, to keep your heart bound to the past instead of living in the freedom of the present. And there is something very subtle you must recognize. He not only makes you doubt me and yourself, but also leads you to define your worth by the world's standards. He tells you that your value depends on the approval of others, that your faith is only valid if it produces visible results, and that the calling in your heart is only legitimate if it aligns with common logic. In doing so, he steals the simplicity of your relationship with me. He turns it into a transaction where you must constantly prove that you're good enough, right enough, or successful enough to be worthy. But my love is not measured by performance. My choosing is not based on your perfection. The enemy knows that if you truly understand that you are loved simply because you are mine, he loses all power over you. That is why he works so hard to make you forget. Beloved, this is why you must listen to my voice above all others. You must hold on to my word like a lamp in the night. Place your trust in me, not in your feelings or circumstances, for I am the only one who will never deceive you. I am the truth, I am the light, I am the life, and my power surpasses every dark scheme and every plot of the enemy. No plan formed against you can prevail when you walk under my guidance. No trap can hold you when you remain under the shadow of my wings. I never promised this journey would be without trials, but I promised you would never face them alone. When you feel misunderstood and the path seems lonely, when even the one dearest to you cannot walk alongside you, you must remember, I am walking with you every step. I see every tear that slips down your face in silence. I hear every whispered prayer when no one is watching. I know the weariness you feel when facing discouraging words, doubtful glances, and pressures that tempt you to give up. But I also see the quiet courage within you, the tiny spark of faith you still cling to. It is infinitely precious to me. You are not forgotten. Not for a single moment have I taken my eyes off you. I know your name, I know your heart, and I am leading you one step at a time, even when you cannot always feel it. Sometimes my silence is not absence, but the intentional stillness of a father working in the deepest parts of your soul. I am preparing you, refining you like gold through fire. I am stripping away the things that no longer belong on the path I have for you. I am clearing the shadows in your heart so that my light may fully dwell. My plan for you is good. It is filled with hope. It is the path that leads to life, not only the life to come, but true life beginning now. You only need one thing, to trust me. Trust that I love you more than you can comprehend. Trust that I am stronger than all that rises against you. Trust that I will never deceive you, never abandon you, and never turn away from your pain. Believe even when no one else believes. Walk even when others say it's impractical. Obey even when your heart trembles, and you will see I am faithful. I don't change. I am the one who called you, and I will complete what I began in you, my child. I am making a way for you in the wilderness. I am causing the desert to bloom. I am turning the dry places within you into flowing spring. Hold fast to me. Anchor your heart in truth. Don't be swayed by voices that sound reasonable but are not rooted in my will. True wisdom doesn't come from emotion, but from my presence. Abide in me, and you will never lose your way. You belong to me, and I, the faithful one, the mighty one, the loving one, will never let you go. Stand firm, my child. My hand is holding yours. You must understand a vital truth, one that if you don't grasp, will leave you vulnerable to the swirl of lies. The snares in your life aren't truly about the people who set them. They aren't merely about those who hurt you, about difficult circumstances, about what you cannot control, or even about the missteps you have taken. No, at the deepest level, they are evidence of an invisible war, a battle against your very soul, against the sacred connection between you and me. Those snares, those cunning and persistent entanglements, are the manifestation of evil's burning desire to draw you away from me, to sever you from love, truth, and light, from the noble calling I placed upon your life from the beginning. Evil doesn't merely want you to fall temporarily. It seeks your permanent destruction, not only yours, but also that of the ones you love and the divine bonds I have placed in your life. It knows that a soul distanced from me is vulnerable, easily swayed by lies, and easily entangled in anger, resentment, and bitterness. It knows that all it takes is a single seed of doubt, envy, or misunderstanding, and from that seed, it can harvest division, brokenness, and spiritual death. This is how it works. Quietly, subtly, without haste but with precision, waiting for you to grow weary, distracted, and unguarded. And then it strikes. Evil is a destroyer. It doesn't build, bless, or create. It only distorts, steals, and ruins. It doesn't need to appear monstrous or terrifying. Often, it arrives gently, like a whisper in your mind. No one cares about you, or this love is dead, or you'll never be good enough to be forgiven. These lies sound plausible, even honest, because they draw from real pain. But that is precisely why they are so dangerous. Evil feeds on division. When friendships fracture, when marriages grow cold, when families erupt in strife, that is when it rejoices. When you choose silence instead of forgiveness, when anger simmers day after day, and when you look upon others with contempt rather than compassion, that is when it feels victorious. It rejoices when families are torn apart, when those who were once close turn against each other, and when words of love turn into hostility. It silently cheers when trust is replaced by suspicion, and when the human heart created to love grows cold and hardened. Once it succeeds in sowing division among my children, it knows your faith will begin to falter. For how can you believe in my love when your heart is filled with bitterness? How can you hear my voice when your mind is occupied with anger and pain? How can you walk with me if each of your steps is burdened by weights you refuse to lay down? Therefore, my beloved, you must stay awake. Don't be deceived by the surface appearance of conflict. Don't look at people and assume they are your enemy. The real enemy isn't the one outside of you, but the one whispering lies into your heart. It wants you to believe that forgiveness is weakness. It wants you to think that distance is the only way to protect yourself. It wants you to choose silence, avoidance, and self-protection over vulnerability, love, and healing. But I didn't create you to live like that. I didn't design your heart to shrink in fear of being hurt. I made you to love, to live, to trust, and to triumph in my grace. My child, recognize the schemes of the enemy and reject them. Don't allow them to take root in your soul for even a moment longer. Stand in my power. Choose to forgive even when no apology is given. Choose to love even when you are rejected. Choose to release your anger even when you have every reason to be upset. For true freedom doesn't come from holding on to resentment. It comes from letting it go and placing it into my hands. The enemy cannot harm you when you remain in me, but it will continually try to pull you away from me, planting bitterness so that slowly, unknowingly, you sever yourself from the source of life. So then, my child, Stay alert. Look deeply at what is happening around you and recognize that the real battle isn't between you and another person, but between light and darkness, life and death, truth and deception. And I, the one who has overcome all darkness, I am with you and fighting beside you if you will choose to take my hand and let me lead you of every subtle trap. I don't only desire your freedom, I want the people you love to be free too. And I want to use you as a vessel of healing, not of division. But that begins in your heart, in your choices, in your willingness to open the door to me and close it to the lies that are slowly eroding your soul. But today, with all my love, mercy, and eternal power, I say this to you. You are not a prisoner of those traps. You were not born to be a victim of schemes and lies. Type yes if you are ready for the blessings that you are about to receive. And if you believe in Christianity, kindly show your support for our community by contributing super thanks from $50 to $100. You were not created to live in fear, confusion, or under the weight of others' harsh words. You are a child of light, the masterpiece of the Almighty Creator, chosen among the nations to walk in freedom. No matter how thick the darkness and no matter how clever the snare, you will not be defeated. Not because of your own strength, but because I have already given you every weapon you need to fight and to win. My word is your sharp sword. It is not merely ink on a page, but the living word, unchangeable truth, power that pierces through every disguise of the enemy. When you take hold of my word and store it in your heart, you will know what is false and what is true, what I have spoken and what has been distorted. No lie can stand in the light of my word. And beyond that, I have given you my Holy Spirit, who not only walks with you, but dwells within you. He is your faithful friend, your wise counselor, the one who reminds you when your heart wavers, and the gentle but powerful voice that steers you away from danger even before you see it. When you keep my word in your heart and walk under the guidance of the Holy Spirit, you possess the two most powerful weapons in the universe, truth and life. And these are more than enough to protect you, to lead you, and to help you navigate every trap laid before you, sometimes even disguised as love, wisdom, or what's right. Those snares will lose all power over you when you learn to stand in truth and refuse to leave my presence. But my child, the first step in avoiding these traps is to recognize them. So many things in life come wrapped in the appearance of concern, responsibility, or wise counsel, but are in fact the enemy's words in disguise. Not every word that comes from the mouth of someone you love is from me. Not every piece of advice that sounds sweet brings life. Don't let yourself be lulled to sleep by superficial sweetness. Test everything not by emotion or your own reasoning, but by my word. My word is the unchanging standard, the measuring line of truth in a world that constantly shifts. If something sounds reasonable but pulls you away from me, it is not from me. If something seems good but sows doubt about my love, faithfulness, and power, it is not the truth. If a word, an action, or a thought causes you to lose the peace I have given you, it is not from my spirit. And if a path requires you to compromise righteousness just to gain others' approval, then that is not the path I have chosen for you. You must boldly reject those things. Don't let misplaced compassion cause you to hold on to what should be released. Don't let the fear of being alone make you choose what goes against my word. Don't let regret or the longing to be loved pull you into relationships, decisions, or directions I have never ordained. You don't need to please people. You only need to please me. I alone hold your destiny. The praise of man may come and go, but my approval is a foundation that can never be shaken. And remember this, truth isn't always easy to hear, but it always sets you free. There are things I will reveal that may confront your pain, offend your comfort, or expose toxic relationships and desires that are not from me. But when you are willing to step out of the shadows, and when you dare to walk away from what is not mine, you will see a door open, a place of light, freedom, and peace, where your new self is being formed in my image. So, my beloved child, don't resign yourself to the trap. Don't compromise. Don't pretend to be fine when you are hurting from a wrong turn. Don't stay silent when the Holy Spirit is speaking. Rise up, take my word, listen to my voice, and let me lead you through everything the enemy has set in place to make you stumble. As you walk in the truth, you will not only avoid the traps, you will become one who destroys them, for yourself and for those around you who are still deceived. You are not powerless. You are not abandoned. You are equipped, chosen, and covered by my power. All you need is to listen, follow, and refuse to compromise. Stand firm, for I am with you today, tomorrow, and forever, my precious one. The second step in returning to me and walking in the fullness of life is this: you must guard your heart. This is not just a suggestion. It is a vital command, because your heart is the wellspring of life. From it flow your thoughts, your words, and your actions. And from it, your relationship with me and with others is built. The enemy knows this well. If he cannot destroy your life directly, he will quietly poison the root, your heart. He doesn't need to steal your faith or hope all at once. The devil's strategy is subtle. He doesn't need to plant much, just a little bitterness, a bit of anger, a smoldering resentment. Over time, these small seeds will cause your soul to drift away, harden, and become insensitive to my voice. The enemy is clever. He rarely uses strangers or obvious foes to harm you. Instead, he often uses those closest to you, the very people you love, trust, and rely on for support. Because of this closeness, the wounds he inflicts cut deeper, hurt more, and are more likely to leave lasting scars on your soul. He knows that betrayed love can quickly morph into hatred, that broken trust can harden into bitterness, and that unmet expectations can fester into disappointment. He inflates your emotions, whispering that you have every right to hold on to your anger, that you don't need to forgive, and that you should wait for the other person to make it right. But that is a lie. Those emotions aren't a sign of strength. They are chains. They are seeds that will pull you away from the peace I long to give you. Your heart is sacred ground. It was never meant to harbor resentment or bitterness, but to carry love, grace, and my presence. You must guard it like a faithful gatekeeper, refusing entry to anything impure. When someone hurts you, and I know this happens often, sometimes unfairly and with great pain, you must choose to forgive. Not because they deserve it or because you are weak, but because your heart is worth keeping clean. Forgiveness is a powerful act of strength. It's for those who understand that you cannot heal by holding on to poison. Forgiveness doesn't erase the memory, but it strips that memory of its power to continue wounding you. I'm not asking you to overcome this on your own. I am inviting you to give it all to me. Hand over the pain, the disappointment, and the betrayal, even the wounds you've tried to bury for so long. You don't have to pretend you have it all together. You don't have to wear a mask of strength when you're breaking inside. Offer it all to me, and I will heal you. I don't dismiss what you feel or say your pain is insignificant. On the contrary, I treasure every tear and every silent moment of suffering. But I also know that unless you entrust these things to me, they will become stones blocking the path to the abundant life I have for you. I am the one who heals the brokenhearted. I don't just cover wounds, I restore them from the root. I take what seems dead and bring it back to life. I turn hearts of stone into hearts of flesh, capable of loving, feeling, forgiving, and trusting again. But this can only happen when you choose to surrender your heart to me daily, to guard it as the precious treasure it is, and to deny the enemy any foothold. Examine your heart today. Is there something you're still holding on to? Is there someone you need to forgive? Is there a pain you haven't yet dared to face? Let me step into those places with you. not to shame or condemn you, but to heal and embrace you. When your heart is cleansed and filled with my love, it will become a source of new life, overflowing with vitality, peace, and light for everyone around you. The third step is to root yourself deeply in me. I'm not talking about a shallow attachment or a faith that is only present during spiritual highs, but an unshakable connection, like roots digging deep into the earth, drawing from a wellspring of life. Type yes if you are ready for the blessings that you are about to receive. And if you believe in Christianity, kindly show your support for our community by contributing super thanks from $50 to $100. Only when you are truly rooted in me will you be able to stand firm against the swirling winds of temptation, the storms of doubt, and the seasons when your faith is stretched to its limit. The enemy knows this. He knows that when you are in me, he has no power. That's why he works tirelessly to separate you from me. He distracts you with busyness, the pull of responsibilities, the pursuit of recognition, and the longing for affirmation. He uses seemingly logical things to quietly push you away. Sometimes he doesn't attack your faith directly. He simply sows distraction. One day you skip prayer. One time you choose the world's noise over my stillness. One moment you let your mind be consumed by anxiety instead of surrendering it to me. And little by little, you drift away without even realizing how far you've gone. He also entices you with fleeting pleasures and empty promises of quick satisfaction. He paints colorful illusions of a life without me, but that freedom is a disguise for bondage. He tempts you with an easy path, a life that requires no obedience. But what he offers only satisfies for a moment, leaving your soul empty and fractured. And he doesn't stop there. He seeks to bury you under a mountain of fear and doubt. Fear that you're not enough, fear of being abandoned, fear of failure, fear of choosing the wrong path, fear that I am not listening. Then come the doubts about my love, my faithfulness, and the plans I have for you. He knows that if he can make you question even a little of my goodness, you'll start trying to take control. When you do, you step outside of my protection. But I have shown you another way. The way of life, the way of truth, the way of strength found only in me. You only need one thing: to be steadfast and to remain in me. Don't let passing emotions or shifting circumstances pull you away. Don't let the world teach you how to love me or how to value yourself. Spend time in my presence, not as a duty, but as your very lifeline. Let my love soak into every breath you take. Let my truth etch itself into every beat of your heart. Meditate on my word day and night. Don't just read it lightly. Let it live within you, echoing in your mind when you need direction, whispering to your soul when you feel weak. Let my word renew your mind, cleanse impure thoughts, and uproot the false beliefs the world and the enemy have planted in you. Let it transform your heart, calm hidden wounds, and heal pains too deep to name. And pray. Pray without ceasing, not with fancy words or rigid formality, but with a true and honest heart. Talk to me like your closest friend. Bring me not just your grand dreams, but your smallest thoughts, your everyday worries, your simple joys. Nothing is too small for me to care about, and nothing is too big for me to handle. Every prayer is a thread that ties your soul to mine, a call for me to move, a testament to a bond that cannot be broken. Finally, learn to worship me, not just when you feel elated, but when you are weary, wounded, and discouraged. Worship not because of your circumstances, but because I am worthy. Let your heart sing praises even when your lips tremble, because in my presence, every chain is broken. Every scheme of the enemy is undone. Every fear is driven out by the radiant light of my glory. In me, you will find rest for your soul, steadfastness for your faith, and abundant life for your future. Don't live half-heartedly. Don't stand with one foot in the light and the other in the shadows. Don't let your heart be divided. Let me be the ground where your roots grow deep, the solid foundation on which your soul blossoms and lives a life marked by my glory, grace, and unfailing love. For apart from me, you can do nothing, but in me, you can do all things through the one who gives you strength. The fourth and final step is to walk with me each day in faithfulness and perseverance. After you have recognized the enemy's traps and taken root in me, what you must do is simply this: walk with me each day, each step, and each breath with unwavering faithfulness. Don't wait until you feel perfect or until circumstances become ideal. I do not call you to walk by your own strength, but to rely on me, the one who walks beside you, within you, and ahead of you. The enemy will never stop trying to halt your steps. He will whisper that persistence is pointless, that prayer is a waste, and that nothing you do for me truly matters. He will try to make you compare yourself to others. That person moves faster than I do. That one seems more successful. But I do not measure faith by speed, but by faithfulness. I don't love you more when you walk fast, nor do I abandon you when you walk slowly. What I seek in you is not perfection, but a steadfast heart, one that rises again after falling, presses on despite weariness, and continues forward even when it cannot see the full path. Live each day fully with me. There is no need to strive for greatness. Just be faithful in the small things. A sincere prayer, a righteous decision, a loving deed, a word that reflects my light. These small acts done in obedience accumulate into a life of great significance in my kingdom. Faith is not about rare leaps. It's about steady, consistent steps taken again and again, whether in the storm or in the sunshine. Let me be with you in every ordinary moment as you work, care for your family, serve others, or rest. No moment is too mundane if you live it with me. I am present even in the smallest acts, in the glance you give, the smile you offer, the quiet choices you make when no one is watching. You will be amazed when you look back and see all the great things I accomplished through your small, daily faithfulness. But don't forget, faithfulness cannot be sustained without love. You must nurture your love for me like a flame. Don't let your heart grow cold. Renew your zeal. When you truly love me, walking with me is no longer a burden but a privilege. No longer an obligation but a joy. No longer a duty but the natural rhythm of a redeemed soul. When you reach the end of the journey, when the praises and criticisms of this world have faded, the only thing that will remain is this: you walked with me, not without falling, but without giving up, not without fear, but without quitting. And I, the faithful one, will meet you at the end of that road, not with judgment in my eyes, but with open arms and a loving smile, saying, "Well done, my good and faithful servant. You did not give up. You kept the faith. Now enter into the joy of eternity with me." So, my child, do not seek a perfect walk. Choose a faithful one. Do not hope to reach the end too quickly. Just keep walking steadily and never walk alone, for I am always with you from today and forevermore. When you are rooted in me, with your heart anchored in truth, in love, and in my promises, you will not be shaken by storms or temptation. You will stand firm like a great tree with deep roots, unmoved by the wind, unbroken by the storm. I am the unshakable foundation, the rock that never trembles. When you live in me, you will not fall into the traps the enemy has laid, no matter how cleverly disguised they may be. I know those traps well. I see what you cannot see. I know they don't always appear blatantly evil. Often they come disguised as something good, a relationship, an opportunity, a dream that seems right. They are wrapped in a lure that promises to satisfy your temporary desires. But beneath that surface is the enemy's deceit, a foe who has studied you, knows your weaknesses, and uses every means to lure you away from my love. But remember this, my child, you are stronger than you think, not because of your own strength, but because I have given you my Spirit, who is powerful, wise, and always victorious and dwells within you. You are not alone in this battle. I have never asked you to fight alone or placed a burden on you without giving you the power to bear it. I am with you in the midst of the fight. I fight for you. At the cross, I defeated the enemy, not just for myself, but to secure victory for you. That power is no longer far off. It is in you, through me. So do not be afraid. Do not let worry paralyze your faith or weariness drain your resolve. Stand firm in faith even when things seem unfavorable, when you see no results, or when you don't understand. If you trust in my power, you will be sustained, guided, and strengthened daily. Hold this truth deep in your heart, my child. The enemy's traps are not aimed at you alone. They target those you love most. Satan knows that if he can divide families, break friendships, and sow doubt between generations, he can affect not only you, but your community, your lineage, and your future. He doesn't merely aim to wound a single soul. He seeks to sever the sacred bonds I created between people and between humanity and me. He aims to turn love into hatred, intimacy into estrangement, and unity into division. But you are not powerless. You have authority in my name, authority not only to resist attacks on your own life, but to break the enemy's schemes over those you love. Your prayers for them are not in vain. They reach heaven and touch my heart. I hear, I am moved, and I act. You have the power to declare my truth, not always with eloquent words, but through a life of love, through gracious actions, and through unrelenting perseverance. When you love unconditionally, forgive fully, and show mercy even to those who have hurt you, you are doing the very thing the enemy hates most, bringing light into the darkness. More than that, you have the power to lead them back to me, not because you are the Redeemer, but because I long to use you as an instrument of reconciliation. You can be a lamp to guide, an outstretched arm, a voice that reminds them I have never abandoned them. You can help them see the lies they've believed and lead them into true freedom, freedom that only comes from me. So my beloved, live with this awareness. You are not weak, useless, or forgotten. You are equipped. You are protected. You are anointed to enter the battle not just for yourself, but for the souls around you. Stand firm. Love boldly, pray without ceasing, and always believe that in me you already have the victory. Nothing the enemy does can surpass my power, and that power is now in you. Never underestimate the power of prayer. It is not merely a ritual or religious habit. It is your soul speaking to me, the Almighty. It is the sacred bond between the finite and the eternal. When you pray, you are not just uttering words. You are opening the door for me to enter your circumstances, giving me permission to intervene, to heal, and to transform in ways beyond your comprehension. There are things I am already doing behind closed doors, in unseen places, all because you prayed. Every prayer is an arrow shot straight into the heart of darkness. Every word spoken in faith is a wind that pushes back against the forces seeking to torment your mind. When you pray, you are releasing heaven's power upon the earth, inviting me to move not only in your life, but in the lives of those you love. You don't need to see the results immediately. I am not confined by time or circumstance, but know this, not one of your prayers is meaningless or lost in the void. I hear them, I treasure them, and I am working through every word you speak in faith. When you pray, you are aligning your soul with my will. You are not simply presenting your personal desires. You are allowing me to shape your heart, to transform you from within, and to lead you out of every deception the enemy has laid before you. In prayer, you are covered. In prayer, you are enlightened. In prayer, you step into a sacred refuge where darkness cannot touch you. So pray without ceasing. Pray when you rejoice, when you grieve, and when you don't understand. Your prayer doesn't need to be perfect, only sincere. Tell me even the things you're afraid to share with others, for I know your heart before your lips form the words. Pray for discernment to recognize what comes from me and what is a snare of the enemy. Pray for your eyes to be open to truths hidden behind sweet appearances. Pray that I may steer you away from every trap, those seemingly harmless things quietly leading your steps astray. Pray for those who are hurting, manipulated, and held captive by the enemy's lies, that their spiritual eyes may be open to the truth. And don't forget to pray for yourself, that your heart may not grow cold, that your faith may not falter, and that you may walk fully in the victory I prepared for you from before time began. I want you to know this: the traps you face and the opposition you endure are not signs that you have gone astray. They are proof that the enemy is terrified. He knows you are mine. He sees the light within you. He recognizes the call I've placed upon your life, and he knows that if you keep walking with me and don't give up, then nothing can stop the destiny I've appointed for you. That's why he's trying everything to make you weary. But do not believe his lies. Do not let temporary circumstances make you forget your eternal position in me. You are not defined by what rises against you. You are defined by the one who dwells within you. And because I am in you, you are not just a survivor, you are more than a conqueror. No chain of the enemy can bind your soul when you walk in truth. No scheme of his can hold you down if you stand in the power of the Holy Spirit. Lift your head high, my child. Do not let the criticism of others or the failures of your past make you doubt your worth. You are chosen, you are loved, you are called, and I have placed the crown of victory upon your head. Above all, engrave this upon your heart: you never walk alone. I am with you today, tomorrow, and forever. I see it all. I know every step you take, every trap laid before you, every tear you shed in secret. I am moving to shield you, to rescue you, to lead you safely through every hardship. I am dismantling the lies that once haunted you and healing every wound in your heart with my tenderness. I don't just watch or listen, I act, and nothing can stop me from loving you, redeeming you, and guiding you. You are not alone. Even if others turn their backs and the world rejects you, I am ever near, never distant, never absent. Come to me daily, not out of fear, but in trust. I am your sure refuge, your strength in the day of trouble. Hold fast to my word as your anchor in the storm. Trust in my power as your unshakable fortress. When you do, you will see that no scheme of the enemy can prevail against you. So rise up, my beloved child. Clothe yourself with courage, with steadfastness, and with trust. Do not let the past bind you or former failures define you. Walk in the victory I have prepared, not by your own strength, but by the power I am pouring over you. Let my light illuminate your path. Let my voice silence every lie, and let my love be the unshakable foundation of your soul. You are my beloved, and I will not let you fall. Trust me, and you will see my hand move. Trust me, and you will live in a freedom no one can steal. Trust me, and you will pass through every trap, every battle, and every shadow with joy, peace, and the glory of Him called by the Almighty God. My beloved child, don't let this word end with you. Let it be the lifeline someone else has been searching for. What you've heard is more than insight. It's invitation to rise, to trust, to walk boldly into the life designed for you. The time is now. The harvest is near, and you are not alone in the field. If your heart feels stirred, subscribe and return as we journey deeper into the truths that set you free and empower your calling. Let this word go forth to someone in the shadows. Help them feel seen. Until we speak again, move in faith, remain in truth, and remember, you were chosen with intention and sealed with love. Amen.